Okay, this is going to be the fun one. This is going to be the miscellaneous Milwaukee Braves. Some of it is stories, some of it is stuff I've picked up, some of it I've just seen or heard about. Anyway, it's going to be a little longer, so hang in there. It's worth it. Good stories. Good stories in this one. Okay, the Braves sold scorecards, programs, and yearbooks. I believe all at the stadium. Scorecards are a bargain at 15 cents. Here's programs are 25 cents. I do have one from the World Series, a program from the World Series. Well, the yearbook from 1965 doesn't say Milwaukee on the front like others. And on the inside, it has a Milwaukee and an Atlanta address. Donald Davidson is listed as Director of Team Travel. Now, he's an interesting story. He started as a bat boy in the 30s and was a favorite of Babe Ruth when he played there his last year. And he was a dwarf, too. Stood 4'2". He got credit for naming Hank Aaron Hammer and Hank. Donald Davidson was a Brave in some way until Ted Turner fired him in the 70s. He moved on to the Houston Astros after that. Once at a hotel, he was staying on the 26th floor. He was with Spahn and Burdett and said, "Hit 26, will you?" They said, "Hit it yourself." And he had to ride up and down the elevator until someone else walked in and pushed it for him. He never stayed on such a high floor after that. Oh, he dished it out too. Don't feel too sorry for him. When Spahn told the gate guard at spring training that a midget escaped from the circus and was crazy and said he played for the Braves, and if he shows up, don't let him in. Well, he eventually got in and he threw Spahn's clothes in the shower. Look at the scorecard though. Hey, a ball in a glove. That idea might come up later again. Here, the first Sports Illustrated is great. Full house at 1954 County Stadium, Eddie Matthews at the plate. Comes with cool 54 baseball cards on paper, and most of these currently have them all ripped out. Mine are obviously still there. In 1957, the Journal and the Sentinel papers made Braves mugs, and ashtrays too. Well, that year I think everything you could put the Braves on had the Braves on it. Glasses, rulers. Shoot, someone put logos on everything. Here's a pin from Warren Spahn Day. Here's a Heartland statue, Hank Aaron. There's also a Spahn in Matthews. They were made in Heartland, Wisconsin, and it cost $1.49 at Woolworth's in 1961. They came with magnets on the feet. You know why, don't you? So you can stick them on the dashboard of your car. Yes, cars had metal dashboards. They made 2 for every team, but they played homers and made 3 for the Braves. Hard to find good ones because they turn yellow. And in Hank's case, the bat always gets lost. I have Hank's autograph on a few things. On a heavy hitter baseball with Mantle, DiMaggio, Ted Williams, Willie Mays, Ernie Banks, a bunch of others. And I have him on a 58 team ball. Braves pennants with crazy Indians on them are still cool. A lot of the Braves stuff is cool because it's so irreverent. I have a brick from County Stadium, and Joe Adcock was on a Brewer program a few years ago. See, mixing franchises still happens. You can still buy Milwaukee Braves stuff at American Family Field. It's hard to say that. I'm pretty sure the Brewers still do Braves Day annually. Well, the last couple of years have been screwy, but on Braves Day, the Milwaukee Brewers wear Milwaukee Brave uniforms, and they usually play against the Atlanta Braves to make it look especially crazy. I saw Lou Burdett throw out a first pitch at one of those. He looked really bad and could only throw it about halfway there. But man, the smile on his face the whole time was as big as it gets. Of course, they still do modern cards of the Milwaukee Braves. Here's a Spahn puzzle from Donruss one year. They made postcards of players, and in the stadium too here. 1957, someone made a Whirlybird Game and had Warren Spahn on the box. It's kind of a dumb game with this oversized dart with a suction cup on it. And two players or two people had to catch it with this flat target thing they put in their hand. I don't know why you wouldn't just take a ball in the glove and play catch if you wanted to. Well, I did meet Warren Spahn once. He was nice, he was friendly, chatty, happy, just like you would hope. I took my mom, since she never met any of the players that she used to watch. I asked him what he'd do if he played now. He said, the way a lot of guys stand there and admire their home runs, I'd have to hit him. My mom asked him what he liked about Milwaukee best. He smiled and said they paid him. And then he said that he loved the fact that he never got booed, even on his worst days. He thought the fans were always, always, always behind him. And he pitched 2 no-hitters for them, you know, and both at County Stadium. Also at County Stadium, 2 others. Lou Burdett threw one, and Jim Wilson pitched one. They made highlight shows for TV, and they make highlight records, too. I have one game-used ball. It was hit by Felipe Alou in 1965, caught by my Uncle Joe, and he hung around and got it signed and eventually gave it to me. Well, they still write books about the Braves. And here, they made fans. This one was a Ladies' Day promotion, I believe. They always had one Ladies' Day per year, and it was always a big hit. I have seen blue edges on these little fans, but mostly they're pink. I have an Eddie Matthews signed bat and a ball. Oh gosh, the magazine covers, the ads, I mean, they were in or on a ton of stuff. I'm sure a lot of that had to do with the deals they had. They had free razors from Gillette, I'm sure, for doing those ads, and free cigarettes and everything else. Here's a game I found from the 70s. It was played with dice and cards. I'm not sure exactly how, but they made tons of teams for these things. I think every Milwaukee Braves team had a set of cards. This is a 55 Braves team. Advisory staff photos are hard to find, at least at a reasonable price. There's a bunch of Braves on these, and I assume they were given away with gloves and bats. They were done by Spalding, Rawlings, McGregor. Here's a Spawn booklet by Rawlings. J Publishing sold different packs of 10 pictures for $1 at the stadium. They came in an envelope and you weren't sure who you're getting, but most of them had Series A, Series B, Series 3, and of course some were in multiple versions of that. Well, they made them from 58 to 65. Here's a 58 Adcock and Burdett. From people who watched him play, I've been told that Joe Adcock might have had the most power on the team, but he had everything to center field. I know he missed a lot of games too with injuries. Hey, Lewis is spelled right for once on this one. The same people misspell it later, though. His real first name is Selva. Selva Lewis Burdett Jr. I think going with Lou was a good choice. In 1959, Lou Burdett proclaimed he was the best pitcher ever because he beat the guy who pitched the best game ever. That was Harvey Haddix. Harvey Haddix pitched for the Pirates and had a perfect game for 12 innings, and that's never been done. He lost it in the 13th, though, and Lou pitched all 13 and beat him. And they cheated. The Braves cheated that whole game. I don't know how often they did this, but I know they had a scam where they would watch with binoculars to steal the catcher signs, sometimes from the bullpen. I know Bob Buell told Haddix years later that they cheated during that game. And one time Buell and Joey J got busted by the fans at Wrigley Field for doing that in the bleachers. By the way, Joey J was the first kid to ever play an official Little League game and make it to the majors. In the 13th inning of that game, Adcock hit the walk-off home run, and Aaron was on base. And he just walked off. He was then called out. It's a good thing there was less than 2 outs, and Joe got gypped the RBI. Hank was the only guy who didn't want the help from the spies. He just thought he did better without knowing. Here's some trivia. Who had more inside the park home runs, Prince Fielder or Hank Aaron? Well, Prince Fielder actually hit 2. And Hank? Only 1. Another fun fact, Gene Conley is the only person that won a championship in Milwaukee, yeah, but in baseball and in the NBA. He played for the Celtics when he wasn't playing baseball. Lou Burdett, by the way, was also famous for being fidgety and fussy on the mound. Coach Haney said that he could make Coffey nervous. When he did that, he was often accused of doctoring the ball or throwing a spitball, but never proven. He said it was his best pitch, and he never threw one. He also said when he retired that it was because the batter started hitting the dry side of the ball. Here's more patches, more booklets. I have some pictures of Wally Rank giving away the cars, the loaner cars, to the players. Bob Buell looks pretty happy about it. Hey, they make DVDs on this stuff, and I need to get a couple more because they're out there. Here's an order form envelope sponsored by Miller. By the way, I don't know if you knew this, but Fred Miller died in 1954, December of 1954. He was in a plane crash. Really a shame, not just for the Miller family, I'm sure, but he had tried to buy the St. Louis Browns and bring them here. He also tried to buy the St. Louis Cardinals and bring them here. The Cardinals owner was in trouble with the tax man. Had to sell a team. He actually turned down Fred Miller's offer and then accepted a lower offer from the Bush family. I'm sure Miller was very, very influential in getting Lou Perini to move the team here. And I'm sure he also had first dibs on buying the team if he ever wanted to sell it. Well, it never came to fruition, and Miller was not quite as passionate about baseball as Fred was. Here's some cocktail napkins. Man, they're just, if you look hard enough, you just find them everywhere. You find stuff everywhere with the Braves on it. Well, I guess that's it. I hope every Milwaukee baseball fan has something to remember the Milwaukee Braves by. Stuff keeps popping up. You never know what you find. It's part of the fun. Thanks for watching. Oh, I have a list if anybody wants it. A list of stuff I know about at least.